I previously held a job at a child care center. The children weren't permitted to doodle freely. When they colored, they were expected to try staying within the lines. I didn't uphold that policy. I wouldn't prevent a 3-year-old from just scribbling. Fortunately, this story comes from a friend, not my own experience. A friend who handled office tasks shared an unspoken rule that employees couldn't leave the workplace until their supervisor did, even though they had fixed work hours. Anyone who noticed a spill was required to stay by it until the maintenance team arrived with cleaning tools. Being the sole maintenance worker, I got scolded in this sequence. There's a spill, go grab the mop. Then, why did you leave to get the mop? You're supposed to stay by the spill. When I suggested, perhaps you should hire another maintenance person, the expression on her face was unforgettable each time I brought it up. I still find it ridiculous to require a doctor's note for an excused absence. I'm not going to spend money on a medical visit just because I have a cold or the flu. This isn't a workplace rule, but a regulation at a venue where I was working. I was preparing to give a presentation on violent crime awareness and the support services available through the charity I represent. While setting up in the auditorium, I realized I needed my anxiety medication and inhaler before starting. A teacher, who had arrived early with her class, approached and insisted I put my inhaler away. I looked at her, puzzled, and clarified it was for my asthma, stating I obviously wasn't going to hide it since it's medication. I added I'd be done in less than 2 minutes, so she should relax. She then claimed, the school has a strict no drugs policy. Thankfully, the principal returned at that moment, noticed the misunderstanding, and reassured the teacher it was okay. Still, it's wild that a teacher thought my inhaler wasn't medicine and assumed I wasn't an adult. For context, I'm 23 now but was 21 then, so I looked young enough to pass as a student. However, in the UK, school uniforms are standard, and I was wearing my bright orange work ID lanyard with my charity's name on it, which you'd have to be pretty clueless to mistake for a school badge. During college, I worked at a high-end floral shop where sitting was prohibited, even when the store was empty, which was most of the day since most customers phoned in orders. So, all the chairs were basically ornamental because we had to appear busy for non-existent customers, I suppose. I got reprimanded because my 16-year-old daughter passed behind me during a Zoom meeting. This came from my manager, whose 7-year-old walked in, asked her a question, and she paused the meeting to respond. Yet, I was formally disciplined for my situation. I resigned immediately after the write-up and unleashed a rant against the manager. I have no regrets. No conversations were allowed during lunch breaks. If someone knocked on the door before official opening hours, we were supposed to let them in. Absolutely not. I'm busy starting my computer, ensuring the waiting area is neat, grabbing my coffee, and using the restroom. That door stays locked until business hours start. At a labor-intensive job, I stood for 7 hours daily on a sweltering factory floor. During a 10-minute unpaid break, we weren't allowed to sit. We had to stand right beside the chairs designated for breaks. Those seats were only for the later 20-minute unpaid lunch break. Meanwhile, the managers who set this rule sat all day in a cool, air-conditioned office sipping coffee. This is just one instance of management's logic and their approach to motivating workers. Definitely not the way to inspire your team's best effort.